Good morning. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jim Rambles On. This is basically a follow-up to the previous video where I was talking about spending less time on politically oriented social media sites. Our country is facing an emergency in terms of it's multifaceted. It's really a spiritual emergency, but it's manifested itself in the political realm. So walking away from most of what I was doing, it felt like I'll be doing nothing, or I'll be wandering around. I was doing a little. Probably should have been doing more outside of the internet, and so I started thinking about that. And one thought led to another and another, and it's been very positive. I have a lot of ideas, and I'm actually starting to work on them. I have to carry a notebook around, night and day just to write things down. I don't want to tell you, well, I have this idea and 40 ideas. I want to show you things that I've done. So it'll be limited initially, and as time moves on, there'll be more. Most of them are serious. Some of them are a little silly, but you have to entertain people to a degree. You have to make it fun, all that. So, one of the more serious things is a pamphlet. Rather than writing a book, I think I'll write short pamphlets. Was it Thomas Paine who wrote Common Sense and a few others? And that was very influential. I'm not, implying that I would have that degree, but if we all did something. So here's the cover art. I don't know if you can see this. The cover art for the first one. It's the guy doing his crazy strut with a nighttime city background. It says "Out of Control: Why I'm Moving Away from the Internet Echo Chamber." Okay. Basically have chapters outlined. I have the introduction written. So that's going really well, and I have things I've been ordering. I have labels ordered, little labels. I'll be making signs. Got stuff coming in the mail. Bunch of flash drives so that I can put vector files. A vector file is a special kind of file that a sign-making machine needs. I'm a little reluctant about that for security reasons, but this is a microphone for the GoPro. Not necessarily related to politics, but in future videos I'll be able to go around and talk, and I work with my hands so much, and there's really beautiful things. That's why I'm on a ladder this morning. I wanted you guys to be able to see some of the beautiful green and whatnot. This is, well, you're only seeing a portion of it. I pray that I don't become over familiar with it. I think that's one of the original, I thought that the original thing in the garden was, the problem there was pride. Like, oh, you can be like God, and that's true. But one of the big problems we face daily, and they probably faced then, was familiarity breeds contempt. And daily we're walking through God's art museum. Every little thing is God's art museum. Even if you were in the city, the chemicals needed for, concrete and rubber and metallurgy and glass, that's all amazing. The people, well, they can, that's another story. Anyway, a lot going on. Some of it serious, and some of it less serious. Here's a less serious one here. What is it? Maybe people can guess. You're not seeing all of it here. Let's see what you guys can see. Okay, we have your wood, we have your firewood, your little blanket, and your matches. What is it? It's a Pocahontas signal kit. All right. I have an audience. I suppose every time I make a video there'll be something else going on. That's life. What else? Oh, okay, so as you know, one thought leads to another. Here we go. one of the papers, and this is along the silly realm right there. Right there. I don't know if you can see this. It'll be cut right here and here. It's easy to cut. Who's down in the corner? It's Pocahontas making smoke signals, and the writing is that that poofy smoke cloud style font. You cut it apart. Little bit of school glue, real cheap, real easy. You put it together, and what do you have? You have vote for Pocahontas. And there she is at the bottom making smoke signals. All right, that is really silly, but having fun is important. I want to encourage people to get out. One of the easy things I can do, I have a few ideas about meeting people. One of the things I've actually done is rent a table at a gun show. And I'll be going as the old-time sign guy, which is not so unusual because I've seen home improvement people there, I've seen jewelry vendors there, so that there are other people. 95-98% of it is guns. And historic guns, knives, and historic relics. If you're into history, some of the stuff they have there is amazing. Some old things from World War I, from the 1800s. Patches, insignias, knives, various hardware, things that people carried, brochures. It's really amazing at a gun show. So I'm going to be there as the old-timey sign guy, and I'll have this little fake storefront thing, and trying to draw people's interest, like make it entertaining, make it fun. There'll be a Morse code key thing there so that, looking to have another disaster here, people climbing on things that fall over, and which snags that, which comes over here, which, chain reaction. Anyway, so Morse code key thing. People will be able to walk by, and it's battery operated, so it won't need electricity. Do your dots and dashes, this sort of thing. That'll be fun. I'll be doing hand lettering and calligraphy. The idea is to talk about communication outside the internet. The internet is important. The internet is like the printing press, revolutionary in being able to communicate. But I've got a feeling that, it's being manipulated, and we don't want to fall into the trap of, I clicked share on this meme, therefore I'm doing some activism, therefore I'm reaching people. You're really in the echo chamber. Most of the people there think like you do already, or they're trolls that came there to try and interrupt things. I think there's a lot of paid infiltrators, but I already went over that in the last video. What else? Demonstrations about how to mass produce signs quickly and easily, kind of a block printing thing. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm doing those things. I've got just 1,000 ideas, and writing them down. It's very rewarding. Now, one of the things there were several things I left out of the last video. We'll catch that later. Anyway, thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you on the next episode of Jim Rambles On.